So I answered, and she said, I don't know what happened. She said, but my mother just told me Desmond was shot. When I'm going through storms in my life, that God is in the storm with me. I remained close to God because I knew that He was my strength. I know what God has done for me, and I know what God is doing for me, and I know what God is going to continue to do through me. So my faith is just too strong to be broken, no matter what I go through. I had 4 children, but I have 3 daughters now. Well, my dad had passed. I don't think I would have had a baby if my dad was alive, honestly. My mother was more soft-spoken. She was kind. She wasn't a strict mother. I had my son at a young age. I was 14 years old when I had my son. His dad was abusive, so I've been in an abusive relationship. So it was like, okay, I'm in this situation. I have a son. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to get through this. Although my parents, my mom, brothers, family was telling me, this is not a good relationship that you should be in. This is something you need to get out of before it transpires into something more serious. He's beating on you to the point where as though I got black eyes, busted lips, tearing my clothes off. It wasn't a good relationship for me to be in, and it definitely wasn't something that my son needed to see growing up. Desmond's father and Deaja's father, he shot me. So I suffered from a gun wound to my head. I think it was only God that saved me because I put my hand up. So the bullet actually went through my fingers and then it grazed the side of my head. So during that time, that was after that happened to me, that was a transitioning point for me. That was after my second daughter. I needed healing. I needed something. I needed hope, inspiration. And my next door neighbor, which is Crystal, that's when she brought me back into church, and that's when I was baptized. So I was in my 20s. My faith reminds me that when I'm going through storms in my life, that God is in the storm with me, that I'm not alone, and I can trust God. And I know that no matter what happens, He's working things out for me. And I believe that I held on to that so much because I knew that God was the only way that I was going to get through this. Like, I had family, I had friends. Yeah, of course, they're going to call me, they're going to support me. When my daughter told me, my 25-year-old today, who's an introvert just like I am, she's very quiet. She told me she wanted to go to church and join the choir. Not one time has she been on the choir since we joined the church. But I felt like that was a way of God bringing me back. My son has passed. He was 27 years old.
Which one, Snap? This hoodie right
I
here?
was at work, just about to go on my lunch break, and his daughter's mother called me. And I actually missed the first phone call. I think I was working. I had stepped away or something. I don't know. I missed her first phone call. Normally when she called me, it's something going on between her and Desmond. So I'm like, well, why is she calling me? Like, what's going on? So I answered, and she said, I don't know what happened. She said, but my mother just told me Desmond was shot.
White chocolate.
I was just shocked. I was at a state of, well, the next question I asked, I said, well, is he okay? That's what I asked her. And she said, my mother said that he's not moving. I remained praying. I remained close to God because I knew that he was my strength, and I knew that I never imagined getting a phone call like that. Nobody never want to get a phone call to hear that your child has been shot. My heart was racing the whole time. My hands were sweating. I was in a state of shock and fear and disbelief. And I was afraid I called my daughter, like, you gotta meet me. They said Desmond just was shot. You gotta meet me out here at Tiesha's, out in Cherry Hill at Tiesha's house. And I think me and my daughter arrived around the same time at the scene. When that happened with my son, there was a time where I questioned, well, why? Why, God? Why would you allow this to happen to my son? Why? Like, why? Like, I couldn't understand that. But I never lost my faith. I never turned my back on God or said, God, I'm just disappointed you allowed this to happen to me. No, I can't walk with you right now because I'm that upset. He has a daughter, my granddaughter, that will never remember her dad. So I have to be the one who tell her about her dad and what type of person he was. I'm just grateful to God that he left me someone.